Hi guys, I wanted to share a new practice for this week, and it's inspired by a place I got to in my practice yesterday. So I was just sitting in my morning meditation, looking out over the gardens, and dropped into this really beautiful wholehearted body awareness. And I wanted to share that space, if I can, with you in this meditation today. So hopefully you're ready to begin and you've got a nice place to sit down, or even if you're on the tube or you're traveling somewhere, just listening is fine as well. Just pay a little bit of attention wherever you are, just to your posture. Bring a little bit of alertness, a little bit of energy to how you're holding yourself, however you find yourself in this moment. I'm just going to invite you to allow the gaze to drop forward and the eyes to close, and to bring your attention to this breath. In this practice, we're going to follow the breath into the body. And our intention for this one is to do so heartfully. And what I mean by that is compassionately. So our job within this practice is just to be the witness of what's already occurring and to follow along and just to notice, to listen. And so we just travel in on this inhale, perhaps just noticing the physical sensations of the breath as it enters the body, possibly at the nose, the nostrils. Just allow yourself to be really curious about those sensations. Perhaps you can notice the temperature of the air as it enters the body. Or you might notice the pressure of the air as it enters the nostrils. And if we focus our attention really clearly like a laser on this next inhale, perhaps we might even notice the texture of this breath. Now, in this breathing aspect of the mindfulness practice, notice that we're not trying to change anything about the breath. All we're doing here is noticing what's already there. And so we follow the breath up through the nostrils, and then notice where it changes direction. So the breath goes up through the nostrils and then it changes direction to go directly downwards, down towards the lungs. So just see if you can pinpoint physically by feeling it in the back of your head, in the airways. Where is that point where it changes direction? And can you feel the air rushing over it on the inhale and on the exhale? And as ever in our mindfulness practice, each time the mind gets distracted and chases another thought away from our practice, it's our job to gently notice and to come back. Being distracted or caught in a thought is in no way a failure in our mindfulness practice. In fact, it's giving us the opportunity to flex the mindful muscle, the muscle which allows us to return. The witnessing of distraction must precede the return. And so we sit back as the observer of the workings of our interior, knowing that wherever the mind has taken us, there's always the next breath that can bring us right back right back to the present moment, right back to our physical reality. And so as we sit and breathe, we perhaps notice how, as the breath travels down, it sets the chest in motion as the lungs inflate and deflate. And perhaps just noticing the feeling of your clothing moving over skin as this happens. I always like to be curious about sensations that are ongoing throughout my day that I'm usually not aware of at all. And the sensation of clothing moving over skin is a great example of this. So just see if you can feel the fabric that is in contact with your body. And with these gentle prompts, we begin to realize ourselves as a body, not just a mind with thoughts and actions and to-do lists and a schedule, but a body, a physical body with weight, with texture, with shape. And it's in this space that we start to bring our awareness just to inhabiting our physicality. So we've entered in on the breath through the nostrils, down the airways and into the lungs. But let's see if our awareness can travel through the rest of the body, as if the air could permeate through the lungs and as an energy of awareness move through the body. So on the next breath, let's just bring this idea to our awareness of heart and see if we can breathe an awareness towards our heart space. And if it's helpful to you, feel free to bring a hand or both hands to the heart. It can help you direct your attention to that space. And just notice what occurs when we bring our awareness here. The heart is the most powerful electromagnetic organ in the whole body. And what does it feel like today? What's it doing today? So once again, we're dropping out of the idea of heart and dropping into our physical experience of heart. And just breathing into it. And we might notice that with our awareness traveling into and through heart, that the awareness itself softens. Heart being the seat of compassion and love. We can allow our awareness just to pick up that quality as it travels through. So breathing this heartful, whole body awareness allows us to approach the rest of our body with this sense of compassion and care. And if you're anything like me, there are some times that you think about aspects of your body without this loving, tender care. And so it can be nice just to experiment with this. What does it feel like? What does it feel like to visit compassionate awareness upon myself? What would it feel like if we moved that awareness through the organs, through the belly, we let it flow up through the shoulders and down the arms to our hands. And what would it feel like if we sent that same awareness down through the hips, the pelvis, into the thighs and the lower legs, the feet, the toes? And what would happen if we sent that same awareness up through the neck into the head, and allowed it to be known, to be felt in the eyes, the ears, the mouth, the brain, the mind, the scalp? How might we ease ourselves with this visiting of compassionate awareness through the body? What might we be able to let go of in this space of awareness? And so the invitation is just to breathe here, following the heartful awareness wherever it takes your attention, but coming back to a whole body heartful awareness. And so we breathe. And just noticing what the impact of this attention is on your felt sense, on your experience of being you in this moment. What does it feel like to be you right now? And is there something about how this feels that you'd like to take into your day, into your experience of the world, into your relationships, into your work? And if it feels right to you to make an intention for how to do that, just make that intention silently to yourself. And so we spend a few more minutes just breathing in this heartful awareness, giving ourselves a deep sense of gratitude and appreciation for showing up for this practice, this powerful gift that you have bestowed upon yourself today. Acknowledging yourself, thanking yourself. Knowing that this energy, this awareness, is a space that we can return to at any time, simply by dropping back into the felt sense of the body, allowing our awareness of heart to grow, and by breathing here. And so we begin our return from this practice beginning to notice the weight of our body pushing down into our seat. Gathering our awareness through the heart into the breath. Watching the passage of the exhale from the lungs through the airways and out through the nose. And perhaps even bringing a little bit of movement to our fingertips, just as we acknowledge our few moments left before we re-engage with where we are physically in the world. And then in your very own time, just allowing your eyes to open. Great, so I hope you enjoyed this practice. Thanks very much for joining me in practice today. This will be available on Instagram for the first minute and then on YouTube, so subscribe to my YouTube channel for new videos each week. And if you have suggestions for what videos you'd like to see or what practices you'd like to focus on, just drop it in the comments or DM me at Mindful Neil. Thanks for joining me. Bye.